At 6:12 a.m., LeBron James requested access to a gym he doesn't own. And at 6:13, Caitlin Clark said no. Not publicly, not dramatically, just a quiet refusal that has now turned into the most explosive story in basketball. Because this wasn't about ego, it wasn't about beef. It was about something far more dangerous in sports entertainment: respect. Let's rewind. 2 nights ago, LeBron joked on his podcast about sacrifice, cookies, wine, discipline at 40. The internet laughed, some clapped, most scrolled. But then Caitlin Clark posted 8 words that flipped the entire narrative. Some sacrifice cookies, others sacrifice their youth. No tag, no emoji, no explanation. And suddenly the basketball world split down the middle. Because this wasn't just social media shade. This was a generational challenge. Now here's where it gets real. The morning after that post went viral, LeBron's team quietly reached out. Not for a debate, not for a podcast appearance, for a workout. The message was simple: let's get in the gym. Iron sharpens iron. Sounds respectful, right? But the context changes everything. Caitlin had just gone live the day before, showing her brutal 4:30 a.m. routine. Meal prep, mobility drills, ice baths, reps until her jumper barely had lift. That live stream pulled 23 million views. And now, suddenly, LeBron wants in? To some, that felt like collaboration. To others, it felt like damage control. And Caitlin? She didn't blast him. She didn't screenshot the request. She didn't run to ESPN. She sent back 4 words that insiders say stunned LeBron's camp. Closed gym, invite only. That was it. No explanation, no apology, just boundaries. And in the world of engaging sports stories and player breakdowns, that's gasoline on a fire. Because now the question isn't about cookies, it's about control. Who controls the narrative? Who controls the grind? And why would Caitlin Clark refuse to let the biggest name in basketball walk into her sanctuary? Was it pride? Was it principle? Or was it something that happened years ago that nobody's talking about? Because according to people close to the situation, this wasn't the first time their paths crossed. And the first time, it didn't go the way you think. The first time Caitlin Clark and LeBron James shared a gym, she was 19. No cameras, no headlines, no drama. Just a private off-season run in Los Angeles. Back then, Caitlin was still the college phenom, still proving she belonged in big rooms. LeBron was already LeBron. Global icon, billion-dollar athlete, walking institution. And according to 2 players who were there, that run didn't go the way anyone expected. Because Caitlin didn't play like a guest. She played like a problem. Pull-up threes from deep, quick reads and transition, no hesitation attacking space. And the NBA guys, they were smiling at first, until she started cooking. That's when the tone shifted. Not hostile, but competitive in a way that felt personal. And here's the moment that stuck with her. After one possession where she hit a deep 3 over a late contest, someone on the sideline joked, "Welcome to the big leagues." Lighthearted, probably harmless. But Caitlin heard something else. She heard, "You're visiting." And if you understand her mentality, you know how that lands. Caitlin doesn't visit. She builds. She earns. She stays. Fast forward to now. She's not a college kid anymore. She's a franchise name. She's pulling 20+ million views on a random Tuesday live stream. She's shifting endorsement conversations. And suddenly, LeBron wants in her gym? That's not a small request. Because for Caitlin, the gym isn't content, it's sacred. No phones, no entourage, no let's collab for the culture, just work. And here's what insiders say made her decision final. LeBron's camp reportedly suggested bringing a small camera crew. Nothing crazy, just behind the scenes. That's when she shut it down. Because this entire saga started with performative sacrifice versus silent grind. And the last thing Caitlin was going to do was turn her sanctuary into a stage. Now, in sports entertainment terms, this is where tension explodes. Because LeBron's silence since then, it's louder than any tweet. No response, no repost, no respect to her, just radio quiet. And when the biggest voice in basketball goes quiet, people start speculating. Is he offended? Is he regrouping? Or is something bigger brewing behind closed doors? Because late last night, a new development surfaced. Multiple NBA players have reportedly reached out to train with Caitlin this summer, not for content, for conditioning. And when that list leaked, there was one name on it that nobody expected, a name that changes this from social media tension into something that could shift the entire power dynamic of basketball. And trust me, if that name is confirmed, this story won't just be insane, it'll be historic. The name that leaked? It wasn't a bench guy. It wasn't a rookie looking for clout. It was a Western Conference All-Star, in his prime. And according to insiders, he didn't ask for cameras, didn't ask for press. He asked one thing: can I survive her workout? Let that sink in. An NBA All-Star questioning if he could survive a WNBA player's off-season grind. And this is where the narrative flips completely, because the story is no longer about LeBron being denied access. It's about what's inside that gym. What is she doing in there that has NBA players curious, borderline nervous? People close to her camp describe it as controlled chaos. 4-hour sessions broken into brutal segments. Ball handling drills that don't stop when you're tired. They start when you're tired. Shooting reps that only count after your legs are shaking. Full court sprints into pull-up threes, then straight into film breakdown. No music, no hype, no phones allowed past the door. And here's the twist. Caitlin didn't just accept the All-Star's request. She sent him a waiver, not a legal one, a commitment contract. Show up at 4:30 a.m., no cameras, no entourage, no posting until 30 days after. If you miss a session, you're done. That's the standard. And the All-Star agreed. Now imagine how that looks from LeBron's side. You request entry, you get declined. Another star requests entry, he gets conditions. That's not personal, that's hierarchy. And suddenly the sports entertainment world is buzzing with one question. Did Caitlin just flip the power structure? Because this isn't trash talk anymore, this is culture shift. For decades, NBA players were the mentors, the gatekeepers, the big brothers of basketball. Now you've got a 22-year-old woman setting terms, setting standards, setting boundaries. And the scariest part, she's not loud about it. She's just disciplined. But here's where it turns explosive. Yesterday evening, footage surfaced, blurry, shot from outside a tinted window. You can't see faces clearly, but you can see silhouettes running suicides. You can hear someone yelling, "Again!" And the rumor? LeBron was inside. Not filming, not promoting, training. If that's true, everything changes. Because refusing him publicly is one thing. Making him earn access privately, that's another level entirely. And if he really showed up at 4:30 a.m. without cameras, then this isn't beef, it's evolution. But the final twist? It didn't come from Caitlin. It came from LeBron himself. And when he finally spoke, it wasn't what anyone expected. LeBron finally broke his silence at 9:18 p.m. No press conference, no podcast monologue, no defensive thread, just a single post. Black background, white text. Respect the grind. That's it. 4 words. And suddenly the entire narrative shifts again. Because that doesn't sound like ego. It doesn't sound bitter. It sounds humbled. Now here's what insiders confirmed hours later. LeBron did show up. 4:30 a.m., no cameras, no entourage, just him and one trainer. He didn't ask to film. He didn't ask for special treatment. He ran. He shot. He finished the workout. Barely. And according to someone inside the gym, there was a moment during the final drill, full court sprint into 5 consecutive logo threes, where LeBron missed the 4th shot and just laughed. Not out of arrogance, out of disbelief, because Caitlin hit all 5. And when the session ended, there wasn't trash talk, there wasn't tension, there was something far more powerful, mutual respect. This is what makes the story insane. It started as social media shade, it turned into a power struggle, but it ended in something bigger than both of them, a shift in perception. Because for years, the narrative has been that WNBA players need validation from NBA stars. Now, an NBA icon quietly stepped into a WNBA superstar's system, on her terms. That's not drama, that's evolution in real time. And from a player breakdown standpoint, here's what matters. Caitlin didn't win by tweeting. She didn't win by yelling. She won by standards, by consistency, by protecting her space. And LeBron didn't lose. He adapted, which might be the most impressive thing of all, because greatness recognizes greatness. Now, the basketball world isn't debating cookies anymore. They're debating culture. They're debating work ethic. They're debating whether the lines between leagues are finally dissolving. And here's the final twist nobody predicted. Sources say the two are planning a joint off-season clinic. No trash talk, no ego, just skill. If that happens, this won't be remembered as a feud. It'll be remembered as the moment basketball leveled up. So the real question isn't who won, it's this. Are we witnessing the start of a new era where respect isn't demanded by status, but earned by discipline? Because if that 4:30 a.m. gym session is the new blueprint, then the future of basketball just got a whole lot more interesting.